After surviving a horrific vehicle accident, Martell Hole just revealed something you won't believe. Fans all throughout the world are in awe of his heartfelt revelation. How is he handling things now? And what actually transpired on that fateful day? The reality about this terrible tragedy is more intense than anyone anticipated. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're delving deeply into a tale today that has stunned fans and rendered many indignant. After a horrific vehicle accident that might have changed everything, Martell Hole, a cherished reality personality and family man, has finally spoken out. You can find all the specific details regarding the accident in this video. What transpired, Martell's survival, and the psychological toll it took on him and his family. We'll also talk about the unexpected information Martell revealed to the public for the first time, such as his appreciation, his worries, and the long-term effects this experience has had on his life. Make sure to watch through to the very end if you want to hear Martell's honest and sincere remarks, and get the whole truth behind the headlines. You will learn a side of this tale that no one else is discussing. Okay, let's get going. The narrative starts with what appears to be a typical day, but soon became a nightmare for Martell Hole, who is well known on reality TV for his composed manner and close-knit family. What was going to happen on that fateful drive was unexpected. The collision occurred late at night on a busy highway close to Martell's hometown. According to reports in his own story, not the best weather conditions prevailed. The combination of rain and icy roads made driving dangerous. According to witnesses, Martell's car abruptly lost control and skidded across several lanes before slamming into the railing. The impact was so strong that the airbags deployed and the car's front end was visibly damaged. The fact that Martell came so near to a far worse ending was what made this crash particularly terrifying. When emergency personnel swiftly came, they discovered him frightened but conscious with minor wounds that could have been much worse. Later on, Martell revealed a terrifying fact that shocked his fan base. "I briefly believed that I wouldn't be able to return home to my family." This candid admission created a clear image of a time when the frailty of life was evident. However, what led to the mishap? There was a lot of speculation. The weather was blamed by some. Others proposed mechanical failure or even distracted driving. In his heartfelt disclosure, Martell openly addressed these rumors, elucidating the precise cause of the loss of control. He clarified that the main cause, which he had neither foreseen nor could have avoided, was an unexpected tire rupture. He lost control instantly due to the blowout's sheer magnitude. Martell was left psychologically and physically damaged by the collision. "The immediate aftermath was bizarre," he said. Sitting in the ruined car, he struggled with the horror of what might have been and processed how close he had been to catastrophe. Nevertheless, Martell's attention soon turned to his family in spite of the trauma. His first goal was to call his wife and kids, to let them know he was still alive. He described the moment as both heartbreaking and relieving. When you believe the ordeal is ended, Martell hesitates to publicly reveal a startling fact about the crash's aftermath. We'll talk about that in the next section, but it's something that completely alters the story. For Martell Hole, the crash was only the start of a challenging journey, one that put his mind, spirit, and relationship with the public to the test, in addition to his physical health. Martell was lucky to have only minor injuries when he escaped. His body was still reeling from the assault, despite the bruises, minor scratches, and strained muscles. In order to rule out any hidden injury, such as internal bleeding or concussion symptoms, the doctors urged him to rest and get regular checks. Martell recovered slowly and cautiously. In a recent interview, he revealed that nights were hampered by discomfort and insomnia, and that sometimes even basic movements hurt. This unexpected restriction was quite frustrating for someone who was so busy and energetic. The emotional toll, however, was more significant than the physical suffering. Surviving such a horrific catastrophe can have a significant psychological impact, and Martell was not afraid to talk about it. In the days and weeks after the collision, he disclosed emotions of vulnerability and anxiousness. He was plagued by the memory of that moment when he lost control and felt as though death was close at hand. "I never understood how quickly life can change, how delicate it actually is," Martell said in an emotional Instagram post. "I woke up every morning feeling simultaneously thankful, overwhelmed, and terrified." This open sensitivity was surprising to his followers, who had only previously seen him in the calm and self-assured persona of a reality star. It revealed a fresh, unvarnished side of Martell that struck a strong chord with those going through difficult times. The announcement sparked an instantaneous and extensive public reaction. Fans and other celebrities alike flooded social media with well wishes, prayers, and offers of support. Number sign, pray for Martell, and number sign remain strong are some examples of hashtags. The community came together in support of Martell, and he trended for days. However, there were whispers and conjecture in addition to the love. Some questioned whether Martell's reveal was timed to garner sympathy, or as a marketing stunt. Others argued about the crash's specifics, looking for contradictions or unspoken facts. In his moving video confession, Martell confronted this head-on, stating that honesty and healing were always more important to him than fame. "I'm not here to make up stories or play games. Since what happened is genuine, unvarnished, and has altered me, I want to share it." He also discussed the unanticipated demands of being a public person at such a private problem, striking a balance between his need for seclusion and the fact that people are always watching him. Even his closest followers were taken aback by the discovery of the aftermath's darker turn. Martell revealed that the mental stress and uncertainty caused by the collision tested his marriage, causing a brief strain. He claimed that the path to recovery was more than just physical. It was so intimate. How did Martell and his spouse get through these rough seas? What surprising facts surfaced during this period that few were aware of? Next, we'll get into the specifics of Martell's personal life and healing process. Traumatic incidents, such as auto accidents, have an impact on more than just the individual involved. The lives of people closest to them are affected. This was also true for Martell Hole. The real narrative took place inside his family's home, behind closed doors, and in their hearts. While the public witnessed the headlines and social media posts, Martell has long been seen as a kind father and spouse who provides support to those close to him. However, even the strongest foundations might tremble after an accident. In his heartfelt disclosure, Martell openly acknowledged that his marriage faced unexpected difficulties in the days after the collision. There were times when he and his wife were at odds because of the strain of uncertainty and the influx of feelings. He characterized those moments as humbling and devastating. "I came to the realization that surviving the collision was only the first step in the fight," he added. "Emotional wounds don't heal as quickly as physical ones. My spouse and I had to confront emotions we had not before discussed. Raw vulnerability, uncertainties, and fears. These admissions showed an aspect of Martell's life that fans don't often see: the silent battles associated with trauma. His wife also had to deal with her own worries, including the stress of nearly losing her spouse, the need to be resilient for their kids, and the difficulty of managing her own mental problems while assisting Martell in getting better. According to people close to the family, they realized that mending as individuals was insufficient and sought counseling together. They have to get better together as a family. They eventually grew closer as a result of the rigorous and emotional therapy sessions, which helped to restore their damaged communication and trust. The journey of the pair served as a reminder that every public figure has a personal tale of vulnerability and resiliency hidden behind their smile. It was also a message of hope that love and dedication may offer a way ahead, even in the most dire circumstances. At the same time, Martell's bond with his kids became more complex. For the entire family, the event served as a wake-up call, highlighting how important it is to treasure every time spent together. Martell recounted heartwarming moments of introspection and connecting, reaffirming his resolve to be physically and emotionally present for his children. "This experience taught me that every hug, every laugh, and every moment counts," he wrote on social media. Despite these positive moments, the crash also revealed some underlying tensions in Martell's life, including the demands of reality TV, the pressures of fame, and the constant public scrutiny. According to friends and insiders, the incident made Martell reassess his priorities, asking how much of his private life should be kept private and how much should be shared with the world. Then came the shocking turn of events that left many fans stunned. Martell said that this trying time motivated him to make big changes in his personal and professional lives. The strain of being in the spotlight during such a vulnerable time weighed heavily on him, sometimes making the healing process feel isolating rather than supportive. In the next section, we'll examine that transformation and Martell's next steps, including a shocking announcement that caught everyone off guard. As Martell Holt gradually recovered from the psychological and physical devastation of his horrific car crash, it became evident that this was more than just a survival story. But what exactly were these changes, and how did they impact his future plans? It marked the beginning of a significant change. Martell frequently highlighted in his tearful statements how the accident served as a trigger for introspection, and his realization that his pre-crash life needed to change. not only to protect his health, but also to mend his relationships and rediscover his sense of purpose. Prioritizing his mental health was one of the first big steps Martell took, realizing that trauma is more than just a physical wound, and he sought professional help, sharing about mindfulness exercises and therapy that helped him process his anxiety and fears, a big admission for someone so well known and frequently seen as unbeatable. Martell revealed, "Instead of ignoring my emotions, I had to learn to sit with them. I was able to discover my sensitivity and strength through therapy." Fans began having extensive discussions about the value of mental health as a result of this candor, particularly for males in the spotlight, when being emotionally open is frequently stigmatized. Martell started reassessing his professional priorities at the same time. After appearing frequently on reality TV, the crash sparked a desire to work on less taxing and more significant projects. According to people close to Martell, he is looking into opportunities behind the camera, with the goal of telling stories that do more than just amuse. They want to inspire and encourage. In interviews, Martell alluded to future partnerships centered on faith, family, and personal development, indicating a move away from the usual reality TV drama and toward more profoundly impactful material. It was more than just career adjustments, though. Martell was adamant about prioritizing his family. He has been open about establishing new limits, making time for his spouse and kids, and declining ventures that might interfere with his recovery. He asserted that maintaining long-term happiness and health requires striking a balance between job and personal life. "I learned my lessons the hard way." Martell's dedication to activism and awareness was yet another unexpected discovery. Motivated by his experience, he has started collaborating with groups that prioritize mental health and road safety, use his position to collect money, and inform people about the risks of distracted driving and the value of emotional support following trauma. This new side of Martell, a man who transformed a near tragedy into a desire to help others avoid similar anguish, was met with admiration from fans. Martell emphasized that recovery is not a straight line. Even in the face of these encouraging indicators, he still struggles and has moments of uncertainty, but he accepts them as a necessary part of the process. He gave a moving summary. "I'm learning to be patient with myself, even though some days are more difficult than others. Every step forward is important." And just when you think Martell's story is about to take a positive turn, something unexpected happens. A turn of events that might upend his job and personal life once more. Before we get there, though, let's examine how his supporters and the general public have responded to his change, and what this portends for his future, both on and off screen. The public's and fans' reaction to Martell Holt's narrative, from the horrific car accident to his emotional disclosures and newfound perspective on life, was nothing short of extraordinary. His journey has generated a wide range of responses, from fervent admiration to skepticism, demonstrating the profound connection that viewers have to his life, both on and off screen. Instantaneous and sincere support poured in. Messages of support, prayers, and gratitude flooded social media sites. Supporters commended Martell for his courage and openness in disclosing his difficulties. For weeks, hashtags like "Stay Strong, Martell," and "Martell Recovery" trended, bringing a varied group of supporters together. Motivated by Martell's bravery in speaking up, many people offered personal accounts of their own suffering and recovery. His experience helped destigmatize discussions about mental health in the often polished and dramatic realm of reality TV, according to several admirers. However, there were also doubtful and inquisitive voices amidst this wave of support. The timing of Martell's disclosure raised some doubts, with some asking if it was a calculated attempt to boost his public image or use sympathy for potential future employment. Debates erupted on online forums, as participants examined every aspect of the crash and recovery, looking for contradictions or indications of exaggeration. In interviews and social media posts, Martell directly addressed these claims, stating that his top priorities were always honesty and healing, rather than fame. He declared, "I'm not playing anyone. This is my truth and I'm living it every day." His unvarnished candor further increased his admiration among fans, who appreciate genuineness in a field that is frequently attacked for its contrived drama. As a regular on shows like Welcome to Platteville, Martell's changing relationship with reality television has also become a topic of conversation. His most recent thoughts point to a potential departure from conventional reality TV positions. According to industry insiders, Martell is looking into projects that will give him more creative freedom and enable him to concentrate on producing stories that have significance rather than creating sensations. His supporters are anxiously awaiting the release of new television programs, documentaries, or possibly a wider platform advocacy role. There has been a lot of enthusiasm and conjecture about this possible reimagining of his public character. On a personal level, people who closely followed Martell's path have found great resonance in his renewed dedication to his family and mental health. His maturity and sensitivity made him more relatable than ever, according to many followers. His story feels authentic, rather than staged, since he is prepared to discuss both his successes and disappointments. However, the tension doesn't stop there. According to recent speculations, Martell may be embarking on a startling new chapter in his life, one that may involve a significant change in his professional trajectory, or perhaps a dramatic personal announcement that would completely alter his public character. Rumors about impending partnerships and projects that might surprise both critics and fans are circulating among industry insiders. What is this surprising turn of events? What effect will it have on Martell's future and our perception of him? These specifics will be disclosed in the next and last part.